Sit-ups work your abs, but these 3 yoga postures work your entire core. Watch this quick video for 3 challenging yoga postures to help you save your back. First pose we're going to do here is a side plank. So you might not do yoga. You might already be familiar with the side plank, but we're going to do it anyways. So side plank, I like doing it with the forearm down just because it's a bit more challenging. So let's do it.
Okay.
You got it? You got the technique?
Should I go left arm first?
Let's do that. All right, so
left arm first.
We got our left forearm first. You want to make sure that your shoulder is directly on top of your elbow for this. And then depending on different levels here, so I'll do level 1 because I like showing the easy level. So level 1 is going to be with your knees stacked like this and your knees kind of further up like this. So this is level 1. Level 2 is going to be staggering the feet, so resting on the sides of your feet like this. And then level 3 is going to be stacking your feet and coming all the way up. So whichever level you want to take, the important thing here is that you can really drive your hips up. So you don't want to have a straight line from your feet to your shoulders. You're really trying to drive the hips up as high as possible here. And then if you can't get your hips that high, probably means that you should take a different variation. And our goal here is, we're probably going to do this for about a minute, but you should be able to hold this for a pretty long time. So, 2 minutes, 2:30, 3 minutes. If you're doing a lot of strength training and you really want to have a strong core, doing a side plank for, a minute or a couple of minutes is a good idea to build towards. And then one thing you can also do here is take a break. But it's also really good for your upper back. So I like side plank not just for your core, which is getting a lot of obliques, also a lot of outer hips, right? But you're also getting some really good upper back exercise in this. And because it's kind of difficult to target your upper back with no equipment and body weight only, it's the side plank is a really useful exercise for that. All right, so let's switch sides. Once again, choose whichever modification you want to do here. Yep, and we want to drive the hips up as high as possible. And then we want to make sure that your hips and your shoulders are facing directly to the outside. So make sure that you're not rolling your shoulders back or you're turning your hips forward. Yep, doing a good job here. And you can also hug your right forearm and your feet toward one another. So if you create an isometric contraction and
like
squeeze, yep, that'll add a little bit more to that oblique. Yep, and then the hips continue to drive up here. And a lot of activity through the outer hip, a lot of activity through the obliques. And again, the upper back is getting a lot here as well. So this is a really good exercise to do on a regular basis. And, Dave is a pretty strong guy, but he had to give up eventually.
I gave up.
So side plank, that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is Cobra. So this is going to be on your belly, and we're going to be doing a back bend here. And this is something that most guys who don't do yoga, most guys don't do a lot of back bends at all, but it's really important for strengthening your spine. So let's do a Cobra. So Dave's got a good setup here. So you're going to make your legs as long as possible. So I like lengthening one leg and then lengthening the other leg, trying to reach back as far as possible. And then imagine you're zippering your legs up. So squeeze your big toes together, squeeze your heels, your insides of your legs, your inner thighs, squeeze that all together like you're zipping up your legs. And then press your pelvis into the floor, squeeze your core, and then we're going to bring the elbows along the sides of the body. And then plant your hands, yep, right there. And you're going to squeeze the elbows down toward the hips almost like you're doing a row. And then hug your shoulder blades toward one another. And here, what you want to do is you're actually not using the upper body to support your weight. You're using the upper body to create length in your body, but you should actually be able to float your hands here. Yep, and even float the elbows. Yep, now we're really using the spine. So this is an exercise that, and you're squeezing your thighs as you're doing this, you're squeezing your abs as you're doing this, and you're also, you're arching your back, so you're strengthening your erector spinae, those muscles on either side of your spine, on your lower back. And this is a fantastic isometric exercise that is, again, targeting the whole core and also working on strengthening the lower back. Most guys have a lower back pain of some sort. Especially if you work out a lot, you're probably going to have a lower back tweak at some point. This is something that you absolutely need to be doing if you want to minimize your lower back injuries.
I'm going to be doing this more. Like all the cues you just told me, I never thought of. Zippering. I've done Cobra like this forever, and I'm like, I feel like I'm just a seal, or nothing cool happening.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was such a workout.
Yeah. So when you add in all those little cues that we just talked about, that makes it from kind of like a passive stretch into more of a much strength-focused exercise.
That was a workout, like legit. My heart rate is at 100 right now.
Hey guys, 15-second break here. If you are in your 40s, your 50s, or your 60s, and longevity is your goal, I want to invite you to do our 30-day Manful Yoga Challenge. It's free. It's right here on the Manful Yoga YouTube channel. Go ahead and click the link below in the description and join me when this video is finished. Pose number 3, this is called a boat pose, and this is probably the most challenging of the exercises that we've covered in this. Boat pose is a fantastic exercise for your transverse abdominis, which is incredibly important for a healthy spine. It's also really hard to target. It's also really good for your hip flexors. So it's gonna bring together your whole core into a challenging kind of balanced core exercise. So we're gonna start kind of in this seated position with your feet out in front of you like this.
Okay.
And then bring your knees in a little bit. And I like to start by lifting one knee and then lifting the other, kind of to activate the hip flexors. Right, so you feel your hip flexors working now. And then I want you to pick your chest up, get as tall as you can, almost like you're lifting your sternum toward the ceiling. And then, yeah, once again, kind of doing those little knee hikes so you feel the hip flexors working. And then from here, kind of level 1, keep your hands on the ground, lift your shins to parallel, and try to keep your back flat. So we don't want to come into this position where we're kind of caving in. We also want to make sure the hip flexors are continuing to work to hold you up, right? So this is good. This is good. And then squeeze your legs toward one another again. Good. And now from here, you want to make it more challenging. It's tough. It's tough.
Challenging. That was challenging.
All right, so that's level 1. That's a really good way to start. And level 2, if you want to make it more challenging, the arms can come out, right? We can stay upright with the chest here. And then level 3, this is, takes probably maybe sometimes years to work. Level 3 is when we actually straighten the legs and hold up here, right? But we want to try and keep the back flat as we're doing it. So Dave's doing a pretty good job of doing that. But this is a really challenging exercise, but it's just going to work your core in a totally new way.
That's incredible. What a challenge. Like
Yeah.
I held it for 10 seconds and
Yeah.
got to do that more.
Yeah. So nice job.
Thanks, man.
All right, there are your 3 exercises. So guys, if you want to work on that, if you want to get better at those poses, I do have a free 10-minute ab workout here that's going to be awesome for that. I'll put that in a link below in the description, or you can click on Dave's face to watch that video now. And do it consistently. Add it to your favorites, add it to your playlist, whatever. Try to do it 2 or 3 times a week. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and be sure to check out Dave Moss Jr. on YouTube.
Appreciate that, man. I'm going to have to do a lot more of that. Holding it longer, game changer.
Yeah, yeah. Longer holds, isometrics can be, again, game changer for your fitness. And we kind of make it all easy and into a follow-along routine here. Yes, you can do it on your own, but it's easier if you follow along to a routine. So make it into a habit, figure out how it works into your schedule, do it consistently. Cool. All right, guys. See you in the next video.